Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. At the last week's turn of events, we saw Drew McIntyre win the Undisputed Championship in a 3 stages of hell match to win. Drew McIntyre celebrates his championship win. Drew McIntyre celebrates in a big way by winning the Undisputed Championship. Who's going to be next in line to wrestle Drew for the Undisputed Championship at Royal Rumble? Like we said, we're going to determine all of that on these matches that you see right here on your screen. We're going to get to the latest coming up as we get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. SmackDown Ring. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you joined us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation. You can hashtag Pro Wrestling. Get on Connect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the SmackDown Ring Report on the Pro Wrestling Show. So let's not waste no time whatsoever. We told you last week, Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship last week by defeating Cody Rhodes in their hellacious 3 stages of hell. And he did so with the help of Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu looked like he was trying to get his vengeance on Drew, but ended up costing Cody the WWE Championship. And I think Cody Rhodes saying that he had something in store for him. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But like we said, Drew McIntyre came out there with a hero's welcome. And Drew McIntyre showcasing his new goal as the new world champion. Drew McIntyre showing the world that he's the undisputed WWE champion. About time, finally. We'll tell you a little bit now in the show why Drew McIntyre got pushed so quickly and heavily to get this opportunity. But Drew McIntyre taking advantage of the opportunity, and who can blame him? Drew McIntyre went through hell to get the WWE Championship in that 3 stages of hell match. It was appropriate, and Drew McIntyre needed this win more than Cody did. It was Cody's second run, but it was kind of stale to me. But Drew McIntyre winning, and he needed it. Stuff like that. Drew McIntyre celebrating with the people that he wanted and said that Cody Rhodes won't begin a rematch for the Undisputed Championship. It would have been easy for Royal Rumble, but I guess they wanted to go through a different direction, a different route, and have Cody chase rather than defend. So, but we saw Jacob Fatu. We got some unfinished business. Jacob Fatu wanted to get his hands on Drew McIntyre for all his dead purposes and stuff. But Drew McIntyre tries to lay back and not be in weeds and stuff like that. But Drew McIntyre saying that Cody Rhodes won't begin a undisputed championship match no time soon. Well, that leaves the championship picture fresh. Well, we know there's going to be a four-way at Saturday Night Main Event, but we're having qualifying matches. You see, most of these 8 men will be competing. We'll get to it in a minute, or just about. We start off with this. Two veterans who've been the WWE champion before, Randy Orton and The Miz. You know, Randy Orton has been the WWE champion for nearly almost going on 20 years, as well as Miz has been WWE champion for almost 15. So these 2 men know what it's like to be the WWE champion. We know that their feud has settled in when Randy Orton RKO Miz once again to renew their rivalry and stuff. Well, they had a match once again, and the match was that Randy Orton pinned Miz one more time with an RKO to deliver, and Randy Orton advances into the into the into the to the fatal 4-way. He advances, and he will meet 3 other men. Randy Orton, the first man to qualify for the fatal 4-way and stuff. So we see that. We're going for Drew's title. Can we see a repeat that happened nearly 6 years ago? And Randy Orton went against Drew for the World Championship, and Randy Orton bested Drew. Then we'll see. Well, and more news and stuff we get to is Nia Jax and Lash Legend made their presence known tonight. Nia Jax and Lash Legend try to go after each other, and we saw Alexa Bliss and Charlotte going at each other, and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte doing the thing as well. Uh, we see Alexa Bliss and Charlotte won their match night. And Charlotte wasn't feeling too well, but Charlotte kind of feeling a little bit better than she did before. So hey, we saw that as well. Well, it's this right here. Former WWE champion Cody Rhodes addressed the WWE Universe, said that hey, Drew may have that right to not put him in the championship picture, but he said he's gonna do the old fashioned way. He's going to enter the Royal Rumble. He's declared himself the number one entrant in the Royal Rumble. So he entering the Royal Rumble to get himself to earn himself a championship match, which is a smart way to do. But Cody Rhodes still got unfinished business, saying that Jacob Fatu has a receipt coming. We know what that means. So the match has been made next Saturday, for next weekend. Cody Rhodes taking on Jacob Fatu on Saturday, man. Shit. See that on Peacock. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes wants to avenge the loss of losing the WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre in that 3 stages of hell match, and he blames Jacob Fatu played a critical role in doing that, so he can settle his differences with Jacob one-on-one next week. Don't be shocked nor surprised if Drew McIntyre sticks his nose in this. We'll see. Well, we move on to another story as SmackDown's newest residential competitor, Trick Williams, went against the returning Matt Cardona, who's better known as Zack Ryder. These two men went. Who's gonna get a shot at advancing to the WWE Championship Fatal 4-Way? Well, we didn't look no further as Matt Cardona lost to Trick Williams. Trick Williams putting Matt Cardona's dreams down on rest. And I think Trick Williams is here to send a message that he wants to be a primetime player. I think Trick Williams will be on his way, and I can see that right now. Trick Willie getting the job done as well. So Trick Williams doing all he can. Even last week when he went against Ray Phoenix and cheated to pull Ray Phoenix's tights. So we saw that what Trick Williams did as well. So Trick Williams getting the best of that. Trick Williams advances into the Fatal 4-Way for next week against he went and defeated Matt Cardona. As well as more matches were announced this week. Instead of Trick Williams was announced this past week. We see that Solo Sikoa went against Damian Priest. Damian Priest, a former world champion. Solo looking to become a champion himself. Solo's more pertain to the Wide Six rather than trying to focus on his group. Solo's trying to focus on Wide Six and trying to eliminate them, but Solo should have been focusing on this group. Solo cost himself the match, and Solo lost to Damian Priest. So the puzzle has been completed. Orton, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest, nearly like dudes that's nearly like what 6'4" up, kind of like 6 feet, at least 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" up, competing in a championship match. And really we saw that. So hey, everything is coming around. But Solo was trying to focus, but Solo should have been focusing more on Damian rather than trying to focus on other things instead of the Wyatt Six. It really got his attention. Solo should have been focusing on them. But it cost Solo an opportunity to compete for the WWE Championship. I can tell you that right now. But the Wyatt Six was kind of looking forward to seeing them going. But we know next week there will be a tag team championship match as Wyatt Six takes on MFT once again for the tag team titles. This time, can MFT win the tag team championship, and who Solo is going to put in line? We'll have to wait and see about that. Also, too, Jordan Grace making her claim known that she wants to be the WWE Women's Champion. Jordan Grace leading the claim that she holding up the belt with Jay Cargill has, and I think Jay may have underestimate Jordan Grace after what Jordan did last week. Jordan Grace, with an impressive debut last week on SmackDown, the powerhouse. Jordan Grace did her thing, and she did do her thing. But she, Jay Cargill, may have played too much stuff going on, really got over her head. And now Jordan Grace saying, hey, I can probably take the championship away from you if I want to compete in the Royal Rumble. Could see that as well. So a lot of moving parts moving around here. Well, Carmelo Hayes did his open challenge. And who stepped up against Carmelo Hayes was none other than TNA X Division champion, the youngest in charge, Leon Slater. Leon Slater. Uh, Moving on, Leon Slater doing his thing. Leon Slater now holding up the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, went against the United States champion Carmelo Hayes. It was for the U.S. Championship. What a match that was! But it was a high peak, man. Both men are equally matched when you think about high flyers. But it was nothing but Carmelo Hayes getting the victory over Leon Slater. Slater put on a phenomenal match. It just wasn't enough for Slater. I think Slater wanted to win the U.S. Championship. That's why he didn't show up from yesterday's TNA premiere. I think he was very needed, but you know, hey, due to some visa issues and stuff like that. But Carmelo Hayes pinned Leon Slater to get the 1, 2, 3. And we saw that, but that's the wrong one. But Carmelo Hayes pinned Leon Slater to get the 1, 2, 3. And Leon Slater did his all, just wasn't enough to become United States champion. Leon Slater, don't be shocked. He appeared once his contract is done, he'll end up on NXT. We'll see. Phenomenal match. Well, you remember last week, it looks like Nathan Frazier and Axiom got the last laugh on Johnny Gargano. And Gargano pulled that stunt last week, trying to make it seem like well, what he did, and Gargano paid for it last week after what he's done and stuff. He wasn't gonna fool no one around, and he did it. John Gargano paid the price, and John Gargano saw what was coming to him as well. So Gargano paying it, trying to make fun of you know what, and he paid the price. So I can tell you that right now. So too, we want to get to this right here. Get to what do we want to get to before we go? It was a confrontation. It looked like Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes wanted to fight, but security had to pull them away. As well, General Manager Nick Aldis. We told you earlier that they will have a match next week on Saturday Night Main Event. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes on Peacock. So we'll see that match coming up as well between them. So we'll see that as a match as well. Well, we get to the main event. The main event was Sami Zayn taking on Ilja Dragunov. Which one of these two men will advance, be the final member of that Fatal 4-Way to advance and get a shot at the Undisputed Championship at the Royal Rumble, the Undisputed WWE Championship. But Sami Zayn and Ilja Dragunov, both men led it all in the ring. Sami Zayn with the haluva kick to get the 1, 2, 3 over Dragunov. Dragunov will one day perhaps be a future WWE champion. You can see that right now. Dragunov lost to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got kicked in his head and ambushed by a blindside attack from Trick Williams. Trick Williams showing Sami Zayn that he ain't nothing to mess with. He ain't nothing to play with. After Trick Williams had called out Sami Zayn a couple of weeks ago, and Trick Williams made it be known and clear that he wants to be known contender for the WWE Championship. So we could see Trick Willie doing that, but it'll be a Fatal 4-Way next week. So looking forward to seeing that as well. All right. That is the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. Wrestling Hot Topics. We want to talk about this. People are bashing TNA about their poor performance on the AFC network. Just didn't fall flat. A lot of people gave them 1.76. Wow. Wow, that's wild. I'm saying Impact didn't deliver like it should have done and didn't deliver the way it could have been done. But getting a little database like that chart, you gotta wonder, you got to see how that's all going to play out eventually. So we'll see. But as this, the Iconics, the former TNA Women's Tag Team Champions, the former WWE Tag Team Champions, could be coming back to WWE. Could they perhaps be coming to the WWE Royal Rumble or AEW Grand Slam? That's the question. Luckily, because I'm thinking since her husband is in WWE, they'd like to come back to the WWE on the Royal Rumble. I'll be surprised or not on what's going to be going down, but I could probably see them head back to the Royal Rumble. Who knows? But we'll see how that's going to go down. But like we said, the Iconics coming back to WWE will be a time or event. We told you next week, Cody Rhodes will go against Jacob Fatu. Looking forward to seeing that match as well coming up. So looking forward to seeing that as well as this right here next week. The tag team championships on the line. The Y6 defend the tag team titles against the MFTs as well. So we'll see that as well coming up. But we know that there will be a fatal four-way coming up at Saturday Night Main Event. Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and fallen Sami Zayn will get their shot at the WWE Undisputed Championship. Who's going to be the number one contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship? We just have to wait and see how this is going to go. But like we said, we're going to leave you here on the SmackDown Ring Report with Trick Williams laying out Sami Zayn and did so to make a statement. Trick Williams ain't playing. Trick Williams trying to make it seem like he's going to be heading to the Royal Rumble to meet Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. So we have to wait and see about that. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you Monday for the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.